some just from ordinary workers that Phil has represented, some from other trade unions. But I just want to contrast the respect inside this room from Phil's fellow workers to the treatment we receive from management. One of the things we have to do in this situation is negotiate about the transfer. There's a thing called TUPE, Transfer of Undertakings Protection Act. It's supposed to mean if you're transferred, your terms and conditions of employment are protected. And one of the most important things for any worker is what happens to your pension. Because we have a reasonably good pension scheme in local government. I look around the room, some of the politicians who've spoken so kindly, I hope they'll speak kindly about defending our pensions as well. Because I, for one, get a bit sick of MPs and other people who have far better pensions than we do, telling us that we've got some gold-plated, feather-painted pensions. We haven't. It happens to be a fact that if you took the amount of tax concessions to the richest people in Britain that they get on our pensions, it's twice as much as is spent on the pensions of every single public sector worker. So I hope no politician in this room or anywhere else is going to come to us and say that our pensions have to be cut now to pay out for bankers. But our pension scheme's not bad. And one of the things they had to tell us, what will Veolia provide for a pension? And I said to our sellers, it's what they call a money purchase scheme. So that means you put in some money, the employer can put in as little as 1.6% of your earnings. And they put that into a pot with what you put in, and when you come to retire, they see how much money it is, they see how well Veolia have invested it, God help us, so it might be less than what you started off with if you're not lucky, and then they see what you can buy for that on the market. Well, I don't need to tell any of you, even before the events of the last year, those of you unfortunate enough to be in that position would probably tell me what a worry it is. What a worry is not knowing what your pension's going to be. That's what they offered on to offer to Phil. So we wrote to him and we said, this is not acceptable. The TUPE legislation says that you have to provide a broadly comparable pension to the local government pension scheme, and it's your responsibility to get the government auditor to verify that. I wrote and told him that. He wrote back to me and said, he said, I don't know quite what you mean. You'll have to tell me what are the differences that we need to check. I very politely wrote back and said, the main difference is very simple. This is a defined benefits, final salary scheme. This one gives you no guaranteed benefits at all. But by the way, I don't understand why you asked me. It's your responsibility as the transferring employer to guarantee it's a broadly comparable pension. Now, I don't know Jamie Blake personally. I don't know what his pensions arrangements are. But I've got a funny little feeling. If it's tomorrow I said to Jamie Blake, Jamie, I'll tell you what, can I have your pension, mate, and swap it for what we're able to give Phil? He'd be up and down in arms in nobody's business. That's the contempt they show for us. Now, we're using that argument until Phil's pension arrangements are sorted out, as far as we're concerned, there can be no transfer. But I want to say this, we want to do, the transfer is due next Thursday, we want everyone in this room to do everything you can to stop it. Get on to your councillors. Ask, is this lawful? Ask why it's been transferred. Ask why Town Hamlets Council is doing it. On Tuesday, we'll be outside Mulberry Place at lunchtime with petitions, with loud hailers, calling on the Chief Executive, calling to come down and explain to us what's going on, and we want all you to join us. I want to say this, as far as I'm concerned, whatever happens, the fight will not end on the 1st of October. The absurdity they're trying to say to us is, we don't need to go through a procurement process, we can just vary this contract. But if they can vary it one way, they can vary it the other way. And this campaign continues until there's enough pressure to make sure that this service and Phill Maxwell are brought back in to Town Hamlets Council. I want to finish where we started, because any authority, any employer should be proud to have Phil. People have seen the work Phil does. Now, I don't mind betting, if Phil took his skills to an advertising agency, or even made himself a private consultant, making the kind of work he does, he would be a lot richer man now than he is. The reason he's not, he's put all his talents, all his skills into things that he feels passionate about for. The community, public services, dealing in this area in Town Hamlets. That's the kind of person Phil is. And that's why all of us have to be committed to making sure Phil stays inside cameras. I'll start and finish the same way I started. Phil has stood up all his life for other people. Now we need to stand up for him. Stand up for Phil.